75291 going live. Hello, missing mod. Good to see you in the in the comments. That's good. It is I, Claude, with another show. I thought I better not get left behind. There's so many shows happening now. I thought I better make a little bit of an effort, and of course, being a short Claude, short Bawles, and short shows. So won't go on for too long. Yes, uh, it's been great actually. One day we had Missing Mod, and we had uh, then Aiden start a show, and then Kurisu came on, and there was a couple of others as well, and I thought that was fantastic. But trouble is, of course, it is a good way to, if you've got other things to do, you tend to put them off so you can hear these shows, which isn't always particularly good. Missing Mod said she hasn't been watching anything. No, there hasn't been much in the last few days. I think Proverbs guys have a new lease of life and doing some shows. Probably because they've now been on Aiden's show and got a bit of publicity, and so that's all good. It's good that people, when they make some sort of an effort, that they get rewarded with 2 or 3 views. That's the way I look at it. So I've had some mixed success, with my little shorts, and you know that the purpose of my channel is to save souls that are in the clutches of Hovind and to get them back to reality. So the Claude would be very happy if he never had to do another show in his life because people stopped following Kent. So Mud says, did Kent get a new girlfriend? Well, we don't know that yet. There certainly was a lady on there who I put up a short of course, and I think a log. And she just looked at him and big eyes and touched his shoulder and stuff. It was quite cute. Age inappropriate though. He'd be old enough to be her father, potentially grandfather. So I don't think anything. I was sort of just joking a bit about that. There is the widow of a John Adolphi. Now, John sadly died, and I say this sadly because it is sad when somebody dies. And he ran some sort of creationist museum up above New York State or something, somewhere like that. And Kent prayed for him a few months ago because he had a very terrible illness, and unfortunately he did die. So the old, it didn't work. But she's been on the show, and she would be age appropriate for him. And I, to begin with, thought she was quite intelligent, but she swallows the same BS. Hello, Just King. Um, now, Maud, yes, if you were Kent, you'd be hooking up with all them girls, yes, but we're not all as sort of, well, I don't know, we don't all have the same proclivities, you know. Missing Maud hopes that you're well, Ateo, so that's nice. Yes, and I don't know what caused the final bust up with Sandra, but it can't have been easy, her having a young teenage daughter there, and Kent probably trying to enforce various rules, and possibly even trying to hook her up, in marriage. She wasn't with one of the drongos in the man cave. So, who knows? I think he should just, it's up to him what he does. But anybody that gets involved, the pattern isn't good so far, is it? 4 in 9 years, something like that. 4 different people called his wife in 9 years. And yet he dares to attack these immoral atheists. Justin is fine, Justin says. So I've had a few videos up, and I saw one where Kent was talking to his health practitioner type vitamin guy, Patrick Urish. Patrick replaced Bill Sadi. It took a long time for Kent to admit that Bill Sadi had died, and from a certain well-known respiratory pandemic that plagued the earth a few years ago. Who's the guy in the thumbnail? Claude Bawles. Is that? Or Justin? Or maybe you're asking Justin that. Yeah. Anyway, so he now has got this new guy, Patrick Urish, and he's now the latest health genius. Well, what a load of BS. And I listened to a show where Kent and Patrick were discussing genes, and they know virtually nothing. I mean, I put on alongside the geneticist Collins, who actually mapped the genome. So I think he knows a bit more about it than Patrick Urish, IHP, or Kent Hovind, BS. And of course, the explanation from Francis Collins is vastly superior. So I put that up. So, I just worry that people go sending money to these guys. And if you really think that vitamin C is going to be good for you, and a certain amount, of course, is, just go and buy it at your local place. But unless you want to buy it with these special powers or whatever, I don't know. Where is my face reveal? Oh. Hello, Big Bad Mama.
Hey, Claude, you mind if I come on for a little
No,
bit?
that'd be good. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. Missing Mod, are you sure it was a face reveal? Wasn't in my ass.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
I'm lagging.
Right. It's you coming through okay here. Hello.
I'm lagging, I think, a little bit.
Right. Is it? Are you on your phone?
No, I'm on the. Now, can you hear me pretty good?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
I think I'm okay
good.
now.
Yeah. Oh, good. How are you going? Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah. Beautiful day.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh, it's the same every day here. It's hot, but we get rain come through, Short, sharp showers, tropical. Yeah.
This is like the ideal time of year for this area.
Because you could go walking and it's not too hot.
Right.
Or hiking, yeah.
Yeah. I took a nice hike this morning.
Missing Bud says you sound good.
Oh.
Where did you go this morning?
I went to a place called Oak Canyon, and it's in a like a nature park near where I live. And it's got a bunch of old live oaks and a stream that goes through with kind of some rocky areas. It was nice. I'll try to put a short out about it.
That'll be good. Make sure you get the music right too. You do a good job.
I try.
Of that. Yeah. Yeah, well, I haven't heard one that's been bad yet.
Good. I try to mix it up.
Perhaps you could get Aiden to do one. Remember, when it was his first show, he did this like a trumpet sounding thing, but with his own voice.
Yeah, that was
funny. I thought it was good too.
He's doing a good job on his streams.
It's great. I really enjoyed it. Look, I've had a good, and there was one day we had Mod, we had Aiden, we had a couple of other shows, Kurisu. Yeah. So, I really enjoy that.
I tried to go on Hovind last week, and it wasn't letting people on. The sound wasn't coming through.
Oh,
Karisu tried to go on even, which I haven't seen him on there. So, but there were about 3 of us that tried to go on, and you just couldn't. We could hear each other, but Kent couldn't hear us for whatever reason.
cool. Perhaps he'd burst an eardrum from a coughing fit, perhaps. I shouldn't be too mean.
I had some good topics to talk to him about too, but I'll try maybe this week.
Oh, well, yeah, you have a good you can get on, which is good. I can't get it on with him. I mean, I can't get on with him. Oh, dear.
I was interested to see what Karisu was going to say to him.
I think it was something to do with it. It was his birthday, wasn't it? Hovind's birthday.
Was it Kent's birthday?
Yeah, I think so. Just in the last few days sometime. He normally talks about it more than he has this time. But no, it's his birthday. So I think he's probably just going to wish him a happy birthday.
Maybe.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Karisu was, I mean, I've put a bit of a short up, but Kent was going on about wanting to marry. Why wouldn't you accept an invitation to marriage from the man who made the universe, or the richest man in the universe? Like, he wants to marry Jesus, he's talking. And Karisu said something like, "Oh, so he finally accepts gay marriage." Oh, dear. So, but he did go on and on about it. Yeah.
I've missed watching Kent for about a week now.
Well, you can catch up. The last couple of mine give you a few. The one is one where he breaks down. I mean, something shocking. It's actually, I feel quite.
He cried?
Really badly.
Really?
Really badly.
Oh, send me the link for that.
Yeah. And I put up a short of it called Kent Hovind Blubbing for Sympathy. So I've clipped it so you don't have to watch the whole thing. And he really, oh my goodness, I've never seen anything like it. So
did it seem
he gets over
authentic?
it quick. No, Karisu said on his show, he says, you can tell it's not authentic because he was over it just like that.
Right, and there's never a tear to be had.
Yeah, well, it was basically, it's just because Jesus loves them so much, this sort of thing. But someone put in a comment on that when I put up something like, God, imagine being stuck in heaven with him. And I said, but imagine Jesus being stuck in heaven with him. Wouldn't you be? Jesus would get sick of it, wouldn't he?
Oh,
constant groveling. Yeah, I need a bigger mansion because I did more. Where did all that idea come up? That someone.
Well, Kent would end up judging Jesus and probably, try to take over.
Then I heard Proverbs Guy that I have a bit better relationship with them, but I didn't go on because someone was on there going on about no to any welfare, no to whatever, no. And I bet yes, I think she's probably been the recipient of it at some stage. I don't know, but it just
was it Terry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless it was to be provocative, but I didn't like it.
Yeah, I know. Just be yourself. I mean,
yeah. Well, it's not what Jesus would have done either. And to be honest, even Kent was on there when a certain wife of a certain elderly pastor who needed some sort of hospice care, Kent was moaning that he couldn't get it for her easily enough. Well, where does that come from?
Right. It
comes from the state, doesn't it?
The government.
As far as I know. Yeah. No, Maud, Terry doesn't go on Kent. She was on Proverbs.
She was on Stephen with Stephen and
Achilles and of course the husbands in the chat. I don't have an issue with them in a way, but I just think it gets sometimes, nothing. I do have some compassion. I have more compassion than them,
When somebody calls all the Native Americans savages, I have a problem with that.
And it's done to try and blow it up.
It's not something I'm just going to let them get away with either.
No. So I put something because
I thought that was an interesting questionnaire that they were going over.
Oh, right. Yeah, I couldn't hear the whole. I had something to do, but it was interesting. I did put some questions at the beginning that, would Melania qualify under the, for citizenship? She's got it, but how did she get in, And
right.
and one of the sons, under this birthright business or whatever it's called, so people are going to come up with these schemes and popularist stuff. They better be prepared if it doesn't always work out for them. Hey,
Well, do you know who Nicki Minaj is?
Is she a singer?
She's a singer, yeah.
Right.
And she got on the Trump train and was pretty heavy on the Trump train. And then people kind of dug into her past, and she's not even an American citizen, and they couldn't find where she was like even a legal person. So people have been calling her out about that, and she's almost gone completely silent.
Yeah, I like when that happens. Like be consistent, and it's just crazy. So, and then Kent has been raging about how women, young women these days, they walk past a sink full of dishes, don't even notice it. Well, what about them? What about the young men? Is it solely a woman's domain?
Right. If somebody's watching a woman do that, then that means that they walked past the sink too and didn't do anything about it.
And it's going to be, it's always the woman traps the man with it, using her allures and charm or whatever. It's never the man who's horrible to a woman or wants to have it away with one. It's always the woman. I just can't imagine that could possibly be true, that it's always the man.
He's going to have to get a very old-fashioned woman if he's going to get out there and date again. Because he is way behind the times.
Well, I put that up alongside you, and he says, "You women nowadays to attract you wear less or something so that you attract the men, attract attention, something to do with it." And of course, the old business of what his daddy said, not advertising, comes up, and then so I found this clip of Sir Les Patterson. Have you heard of Sir Les Patterson? The Australian cultural attaché to England, supposedly. He's in fact the same actor. Is that the Dame Edna? Yes, he plays Dame Edna. And he's going about. Do you know how some of the talking about Joan Collins, and what does she put behind her ears? Talking about perfume. What does she put behind her ears to attract the men folk? Well, I won't say what he says, but the host says, if this has gone out live, I'm finished. Oh dear. But it's very similar, Kent and Sir Les, they had very similar, saying very similar things in a way, and he was just a bit more blunt about it.
Kent doesn't even allow comments anymore on his YouTube videos. Did you notice that?
No, only on the shorts. Yeah.
Right.
Some of the shorts, they've cottoned on to that. If they do shorts, they tend to get more views. But he's still saying that he's taken off YouTube. It's just bullshit.
Yeah, he's got like 3 channels still on YouTube, I think.
What does Maud say here? I wouldn't want that life with Kent. I mean, no thanks. Letting people who live up in my stuff and eat my food. Well,
it's a weird atmosphere there.
Yeah. The only thing is that, of course, that when they eat his food, they usually eat it because they're working.
Right.
And when you tote up the ledger, you say, how much labor does he get? Let's round it up. Let's say it's $1,000 a week. But but the cost of keeping them there is $300 a week. So he's up $700.
Yeah, they're getting screwed.
Yeah. So.
And what do you put on your resume for the time at Dinosaur Adventureland?
Yeah.
I mean, you could put that you have like skills in construction and that kind of thing, but you have to list your employer, and it just seems like somebody would read that and it would be a point against you.
Maud says people are rude and unkind, some destructive cheaters and liars.
Wow.
I want my own stuff and for people to stay away from it. I agree. And she says, well, that's why Matt left. Someone stole from him. Well, it is
Where'd
quite
you hear
likely.
that?
Yeah. Well, that'd be part. Maybe it wasn't the main reason, but I could see when he has all sorts of people there, so you just never know. Anyway, that's what Maud says.
Yeah, I'd have to hear what her source is for that.
Well, are you doing a show soon, Maud? Hopefully you'll do one soon again. You can get on there and ask these questions of you. It was quite funny. Kent was doing a thing on Sodom, and Lot and all that sort of thing, and that the men went out because they wanted the new guys, and they knew them. And what does knowing biblically mean? It means having intercourse and all. And he's raging on. And then I found a thing where he's talking about being the new guy in prison.
Oh my God.
And the so I put them two together. Oh, God.
That's pretty good that you could find those.
I found, because I remember. I can't always remember where. That's the problem.
Those guys want their old shows back, and I probably have a lot of that stuff back, but I don't know. He wants his old sermons back because for some reason he didn't save that stuff. I don't know.
Well, they're all the same. I could write one.
Well, but he goes through each verse and stuff, and he wanted like his Colossians streams back or something, one of the books. But
if he practiced what he preached, he would say that people should interpret it themselves. No, you don't need a priest or a pastor, do you? So,
well, certainly his interpretation. I mean,
Maud has given, and she says it's a fact, Matt was stolen from and he left right after. Maybe it wasn't the exact reason, but he was stolen from.
Where'd you hear that from?
She doesn't say where, but I think it is quite possible, So I'm scared of Maud.
I actually think that his dad had something to do with him leaving. Did you ever see Matt Powell's dad before?
No.
I put a short out about him, or maybe it was a video, but I mean, he's fundamentalist as can be. And I just think that he was butting heads with Hovind. And when Matt Powell left, his dad came and picked him up. And Matt Powell made that video where he and Kent were talking about him leaving, and the dad was nowhere to be seen. You would have thought that the dad would have been on the video at some point, but that's my interpretation.
Maud said, "Ask Mark about it."
Okay.
So, but I haven't seen much of Mark lately. I did. Did I tell you, Mr. Anderson? Mr. Anderson,
yes.
Not Pastor, came on and did a show out of the blue, and I posted in the comments that Kent was suing, a veteran, and he was very interested and said, "Oh, can you give me a link to it?" And of course, I couldn't post the link, so I put a description, and then I found his email and emailed it to him, and then he's taken mine down, which is good because my comment down. I didn't. Yeah, I was wanting to be a surprise if he does something on it. Yeah.
So he's going to cover it, you think?
I hope so, and I don't want him to spill the beans on what the floor is,
right?
Because that
should be.
But it's never going to happen. It's just such bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, but, I would really want to know what the origin of that lawsuit was, but I think I know some things about it, but I can tell you like off stream.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We'll do. Yeah, but I just laughed when I read it and saw the ball. First of all, I laughed at the legal mistake, and then
Right.
I laughed at the clause with your and various other big bad
Imagine
mama,
the judge reading that.
Imagine reading it. Who the is big bad
Junior.
mama? It's a pity he hadn't put Claude Bawles
Lies
in
of the
there.
devil.
I would have liked Claude Bawles' name in there too.
I know it should have been.
It's just, I'm offended.
You were listed under the other hope and hating websites.
I always say I don't hate him. I just hate the sin. Justin says that Kurisu read out the filing. Yes, that's right, but it took a long time, and he used AI to read it, which was good. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had a voice.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 100 to 200 paragraphs, I think.
It's Kent was on with a lady called Kristen, who's from that Lost World Museum where her husband sadly died. But Kent was calling people names, and then like atheist names, and then Kristen comes on and says, "Well, that's why we don't, these horrible atheists call us names." I put that alongside each other too, because it was so obvious they were doing exactly what they us horrible atheists were doing.
That was annoying because Kent, we couldn't get on the show the day before because of his sound, and he said, "Well, we'll be doing this tomorrow, so come back." And so when we went back, it's like, no, there's no link given or anything. He's got that person on for the entire show. Right. It's kind of a drag.
Yeah. I mean, you're never going to win, but what you hope is that somebody listening is caused to think.
Right.
I always check for the latest, video that someone's put up, either a copy of his stuff or talking about how good he is. And I go on and get into the comments and say a few things, and some respond and some don't. And many that respond with a complete red herring or whatever. Or if you then trap them, and it's pretty easy to do, they then change the topic. One conversation I went 20-something times between me and some Hovind goon.
Your conversation went back 20 different times?
20 times between us, but even been more.
Or was the person respectful? Or
they weren't too bad, and I was too, but then as it went on and they couldn't get any shots in, they got a little bit more edgy. Snarky. But I can do that too. So right. And I'm not going to say the difference is I'm right, because that would make me sound like Kent. So no.
Well, where was that woman from that he had on? The Lost World person?
Lost World Museum. Now, this is about maybe in September last year. Kent had a show where he had this guy come on, and I was a bit critical of it because the guy you could look at him, you could see he was in a bad way, and he had stage 4 cancer or something, and he mentioned that, if anybody felt they could help them financially, they'd appreciate it, that's fine. But Kent just does this prayer, and very, like he can be pretty, you can tell he's not really there in the moment. Kent is all about Kent more, and
there's not much real feeling there.
No, there wasn't, and so, and I thought, in fact, I think I made a short about it because it just seemed so didn't give a hoot type thing,
Was that her husband, or?
That was her husband now, and then he died in about November, I think.
Oh, that's too bad.
Because Kent was offering prayer and stuff. probably vitamin. Oh, I think Kent might have said something. Well,
Paul
diet can
Peter,
heal.
Paul Urish or whatever.
Yeah,
Patrick
yeah,
Urish.
yeah. Patrick Urish, who I've had words with, but he won't even reply to me. I've sent him emails,
Has he
trying
ever
to.
replied?
No, not even one.
He's on the
So now
board.
he's a fair target. Yes, but like Bill Sardi, and we know what happened to Bill, and so
Bill Sardi actually had a pretty decent reputation in some circles as a
right,
nutritionist, but
yeah.
he was an actual doctor.
Yeah, well, it's not all bad. It's just that some of them are doing it, you can tell to make. But now, Patrick, I put a clip up there of Patrick just a little while ago and Hovind discussing, and Patrick is talking about something 215, Formula 215. And so he was talking about, which is right, that we don't have the gene to make vitamin C.
Right.
And he's saying, therefore, you supplement it. But imagine if we had the original gene to make vitamin C. So this formula, we could live 216 years is what apparently Sardi calculated. And of course, it's all why people used to live to 900. Well, I consider that utter BS. And
Totally.
I said, yeah, so I had to clip that out and say it. So Patrick is apparently working on this Formula 216. Well,
and is it supposed to change your genes or?
No, it's I don't know how. Oh, so yeah, maybe it's to get the vitamin C as though it was produced by your own body, because that's going to be just that much more potent. I may be not getting that quite right. It's something like that. And of course, immediately I smelt quackery. Yeah, I did, So, yeah, by all means, sell vitamin. I take vitamins myself. I don't know if they do any good. I tell you what, I can still get sick and do. You can take a whole lot of vitamin C and still get a cold or flu. So, yeah. But I still take it because I'm hopeful. But I just buy it from a shop, not 5 times the price.
Right. I mean, it's like the apricot seeds, isn't it? Kind of similar.
I think so. Yeah. Apricot seeds is why that's bad is because of the arsenic content
or whatever. There's arsenic.
It is. Yeah. It's just awful, So real doctors warn about that. Look, if you took the odd one, I'm sure it's not going to help. But it's not going. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
okay.
It's not going to help, but it's not going to kill you either. There was a fake type doctor who ended up in a place called Rarotonga. Have you heard of Rarotonga? It's one of the Pacific Islands.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And he was allowed, I think he was not allowed to, he was from an Eastern Bloc country, and he wasn't allowed to practice in Australia, and he wasn't allowed to practice in New Zealand, where he ran these, for people with no hope. They were going to go and pay money to him, because if you had no hope, you'll try anything, right?
Right.
Anyway, the cemetery at Rarotonga is full of his patients, till he got booted out of there. But we're talking 40, 50 years ago. Anyway, so very sad. I find when people...
Was he peddling a cure for...
Virtually, yeah, for cancer mainly.
Yeah.
And of course, when the authorities crack down on them, it's all because he's a target, because he knows. So, it's a bit like
the secret information.
Kent keep on saying that he was put in jail because of his DVD number 5, and it's just utter rubbish. And
they collected all the copies except for one.
Yeah, and I just wish that the poor people who are there would actually realize it. So, Professor Hizzle says hi. What's up? So that's good. And Missing Mod's talking to Professor Hizzle. So, so that's the way it's because it takes advantage, in my view, of people at their weakest moment.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah. And I can understand people trying. If you've got nothing to lose, you're going to try stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, I think Steve McQueen went to a place down in Mexico that was kind of, he was hoping was going to be a magic cure.
Yeah.
For He had lung cancer, I think.
Yeah. But it gets to a point if you know, where you've got, it's so severe, then nothing. I mean, even, this is the interesting thing, is that, yes, sure, if you're a wealthy person, you can often buy some time. But if it's really bad, your money's not going to, you know, nothing
Right.
is going to, but I guess you try, and I probably would too, you know. I don't want to appear sort of holier than that. I got no desire to go to the next life because I don't think there is one. But funnily enough, Kent hasn't got any desire to go to the next life either, and he thinks there's one. So what gives with that, you know? Why this?
Because he's not sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, he's not really sure, so he's just as scared as as I might be because of the unknown, you know. But
I mean, did you ever hear him say that he wants to be standing there at Judgment Day with all the people that he has saved through time?
Oh,
Oh, you never heard him say that? I remember him saying that a couple times. That he wants to be there when all the people that he saved personally are being judged, because he wants to just see what's going to happen, and I guess put himself in the glory of God, or whatever his belief is.
I sort of got the idea he wanted to be a bit of a telltale. Look, God, tap him on the look.
Yeah.
Look, he did this and he did that. I mean,
he dressed like that.
Yeah,
She
and he
dressed
didn't
like
have
that.
a hair. Yeah, he didn't have a haircut the same.
She had a mini skirt.
Well,
he's such a prude.
Yeah, well, I reckon underneath it all, he probably isn't, but he feels he has to project that image. I think some of his jokes are quite, they're as bad as mine, you know. A little bit
Maud
crude.
wants to see all the people that she saved as well.
Yes. Just imagine that. Let's imagine Judgment Day and you and I are lining up and Maud is there. And I reckon
God.
if God said, gave us the thumbs down, you know what I reckon she'd do? She'd intervene on our behalf, probably violently, and get us sent upstairs instead.
She'd probably say, I'll go in their stead down to hell, as long as they get in.
My line will be small, she says, 5 or 6 people. But no, I think she'd stand up for us, you know. I think just when the chips are down, I think she would try and say, no, God. Big Bad Mama and Claude were unaware of the message.
That means we died at exactly the same time if we're going to be there together.
I know, because time is
time's doesn't
it's
really all compressed.
Yes. So it's all going to be at the same time. It's going to be a hell of a busy, but no, everything's just going to happen like that. He's talking today on his show about people having stuff implanted in them, and it turns out, and some of it I think is fictitious, and then other it's to do with people having an implant who are paraplegic, and he's bitching about that, and I think that's a wonderful thing. If you were confined to a wheelchair and you could have some sort of a thing put in your whatever, and you could now walk again and have that freedom, would you do it? I would.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, bugger them, all this crap he talks about.
What was he saying?
Oh, that it's all part of the
Illuminati,
control people, and the mark and all this sort of thing. I mean,
he
he went through the 666 on barcodes, which is just a misrepresentation of that.
He got real angry that one time I called him out, where he said that I called him out because he had said that paper currency was no longer going to be used as of 2024.
Right.
And I said, here we are at the end of 2025, and they're still not, I just bought a cup of coffee. So I don't know the exact date.
Well, he wants cash so he can continue to do his cash deals, I would venture to suggest. And that's why every now and then one of his minions is able to take money from his ministry, because when you're dealing with cash, that's what happens.
Yeah.
if it's
Hopefully
through
he's got a
payment.
decent group there that doesn't do that anymore.
Well, yeah, except when some of them deserve. That's the only way they get what they're owed, you know. Yeah.
Sandra deserved every cent she got, I'm sure.
I think she should have got more. Yeah. I would love to do an interview. She won't, I don't think, because he has said some horrible things about her. You know, it went from going to see the Northern Lights, come back, all this sort of bullshit, and then to she took confirming what Joseph said.
Right. Joseph gave us the truth.
BBM Missing Mind says, I do that for you and Snow. Are we in end times? Well, 2028, according to the doctor, well, Mr. Hovind.
Right, which means that we are in the second half of the tribulation now, which is supposed to be complete chaos, from what I understand.
I must admit things aren't going that well in the world, but it's
been worse than this, though.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just end times thing. I don't think God or Satan has anything to do with it. Yeah.
I mean, what were they saying during World War II, and what were monks saying during the Black Death? You know, they were probably saying the exact same thing. We're in the tribulation.
I don't know what I must have said there, but Missing Mind has picked up on it. That'll make you jump and walk. I mean, something put in your whatever. I must have said something.
The mark of the beast.
Yeah, must be to do with that.
Stuck up your nether regions.
Or wherever they put it, you know. Oh, dear. Oh. She's a very, very, very practical Christian, I'll say. Put it that way.
She's a good girl.
She can talk with the guys. She can have fun. We like that. End times, no, I don't say end times. It's mainly Ovind says end times. We're right in end times. And a lot of those types, you know.
Tribulation started in the fall of 2021.
Yeah.
And he made several statements about that at the time.
And send in your money because you're not going to need it. But somehow they are.
Well, now they want to pave the area around the ark. Did you see that?
Ah, yes. And was it 50,000? Blacktop, he's calling it. Yeah, it would be expensive, wouldn't it? But everything.
I know, but it's always something, you know.
Yeah,
something that's never going to get done.
So it's paying to finish the ark. It's paying. So
it was Pearl Lane before.
But he never begs for money. You notice he said that. Never does. Maud says, hey again, his son. Yes, it's end times right now. So, how often do you get to go on walks, Big Bad Mama? These hikes.
Oh, I go walk almost every day, but I go on like a hike maybe 3 times a week. So I'll go out to like this area that's near my house that's kind of been set aside for, you know, it's like a mountainous area with some streams and stuff. But I'll go there maybe, and it's only about 10 minutes to get to the trailhead. So I'll go there maybe 3 times a week. And the rest of the time I just either walk around the neighborhood, or there's a couple parks that I go to that have
like a prowler,
bar dips or pull-up bars and stuff like that, and I'll do that kind of stuff too. But I try to walk every day.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, when you're in your 80s, you know, you do need that.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only thing that keeps me.
You missed me. You missed
that box. I know. I didn't respond to that.
I was looking for a bite.
Because you're older than me.
Yeah. Don't tell Mud. She'll get back. She likes a younger man. Um,
No, not necessarily. She likes a man with experience.
oh.
You'd be surprised.
This YouTube business, and I've never understood how, and so I put up a short on Hovind and Urish and vitamin C in this business about the missing gene. It gets 18 views. Right, that's all. But 2 days before, I put up Kent Hovind, and he's got this pastor from somewhere else and his two rather well-fed daughters singing awfully. And I call it the Kent Hovind Joyful Chicken Eating Song, Singers. And it gets 850 views. the one you don't want. Oh,
well, it's not that you don't want it. You kind of,
I don't really.
You want both of them to.
Yeah, it would be good, but you know what I'm.
I know you can't predict that kind of stuff.
No.
There's no way to predict it.
In this jury nullification business, that could work both ways. I tend to put one up about that and comparing it to, for example, the Charlie Kirk situation. Would Kent advocate jury nullification there? Because that's all it would take, wouldn't it? But, only one. He keeps telling people that. And I think it's a horrible thing to interfere with justice that way.
Yeah.
So, and it can have unintended consequences. And it did for a black American boy called Emmett Till in the 50s. And where the jury was nullified because they just said, no, we know they did it. They confessed to doing it the day after the verdict. They couldn't be retried because of the double jeopardy. And
that was a horrible case.
Yeah, and Bob Dylan wrote a song about it. And so that's jury nullification for you. But I would love to see it go against, someone to do it but in a way that Hovind didn't approve of. That would be cool.
When did he talk about that?
He's talked about the last several shows. He's going up to Arkansas to support a guy who found his daughter with an offender, and the offender, so the guy shot the offender, and then now he's up for charges. It can't be true to say he's been sentenced to 7 years in jail because the trial hasn't happened yet. Hovind's got that wrong, but they're potentially 7 years. So he's trying to tell the jury not to find him guilty now. I mean, I have no sympathy for Hovind. I have some sympathy with someone who does that. I can understand what it must be like, but Kent doesn't have the same attitude towards Chris Jones and his offending, does he? He didn't, the only thing that got pulled out there was, no, I would not say that, instead of a pistol. So, yeah. And also, how does he fit that with thou shalt not kill this, whatever the commandment,
Did he travel there already, or
no? Not yet. He's going soon,
unless
there's an emergency.
I'd be surprised if he does travel there, but I'm trying to think of what's in it for him financially for him to go, because that's really the only reason that he would go do something like that.
Well, he says they're going to run a show from there, possibly from near the courthouse. Yeah.
He's going to do a show from the courthouse?
Somewhere near the courthouse.
Oh, from somewhere near the courthouse.
Yeah, and try to interview people and blah, blah. I think he's generally going up there to make a big lot of noise. This must have been organized. This mustn't be just Kent, someone else's.
No, it's probably, it's probably organized by a group of people other than Kent. But.
So Justin said, would Kent be pushing for it if it was Chris Jones who was shot? So
yeah.
No, he wouldn't. And we know what his attitude to Jones is. So it's just this is typical of Kent. He doesn't seem to have the ability to be fair and treat different groups the same way. Oh, he's going on about someone, in this latest one about some scientists saying there should be less people and we should reduce the population of the world, and it wouldn't be a bad thing if a disease wiped a lot of us out. Now, actually, most of them actually want this. They just want a lower population growth. They're not actually saying,
right. They want it to slowly go down.
Yeah, that's right.
Through not having so many children.
He doesn't admit that, but that's the truth.
Right.
So
he has to make it seem like people want that by genocidal purposes.
Yeah, but I've heard him talking about, when a certain illness came out about 30 or 40 years ago that was wiping out a certain segment of the population. So it made a good thing. He did. That's what he did. He does.
Yeah.
So he is. It's the hypocrisy. So yeah. Robin, why the hell would you? Yeah, well, you'd hope not. But in some of these places, they have some followers of people like Kent, unfortunately, and Kent is quite right. It only takes one. But.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that it was the father, right? That was,
yeah.
So I mean, I can understand having those feelings and stuff, and maybe you would give him some sort of a lesser charge than first-degree murder because he was maybe temporarily insane. I don't know if that would even apply, but
I think it is a lesser charge because otherwise he wouldn't be
a lesser charge. But just to let the guy off for that, I mean, you're talking about anybody being able to do that.
And just say, oh, it was because he was doing this to my daughter,
right?
And we don't know.
Chaos if that was the case.
In that case, Hansen would have pulled out something, but he saw Jones in bed with a certain person, wouldn't he? He would just because it looked as though something was going on, didn't it? So it's the same thing. I mean, this guy had already done it before, I think. So he was a bad character, but we're not meant to take the law into our own hands,
Right.
So, I
just have a hard time believing that there's not something in it for Kent ultimately.
Well, I wonder if he's thinks he's going to get more people viewing him and sending him money. He has to be doing it. You're right. There must be a way for him to profit.
Right.
In my view. So nothing would surprise me. Certainly a crazy world, Greenland and all that sort of thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Does make me worry.
Why do we even have to worry about that? I mean,
I know. Well, hopefully it won't happen. It's all bluster, but you just never know.
Yeah, but I mean, it puts people on edge.
It does.
Markets become, alarmed, and it just has bad consequences. And it's people that are friends for decades.
Yeah,
I mean, like real friends. Yeah, it's just horrible. Get me started on Trump.
No, we won't talk about him, as you say. But it's just a totally different to what I thought the US sort of stands for. So,
Well, I mean, he's getting a lot of pushback, which I think is a good sign.
Yeah,
but a lot of his base is just silent on the matter, and they don't like it, but they're not willing to speak up about it. And those are the people that it's going to take to get any sort of, for him to change, I think. Maybe not.
Well, should we end the stream now? We've had a good chat, and I'll just...
It's up to you, Claude.
Just chat a bit, but do you
Whatever
think?
You want.
Yeah. I probably will. We're coming up an hour, you know me. I'm a bit funny about that hour. And we'll have another show another day. Thank you to the people in the the chat. And
good to see everyone.
yes, I'll say goodbye to you people, and that it's Claude and BBM signing out. We're all hoping for BBM to do one of his own shows. Now that would really make the day. Aiden, Missing Mod, BBM, Kurisu, all streaming. We'd have to book in.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, there's no holding Aiden back now, is there? Just he's going for it. Yeah, we had a very good tutor, Missing Mod, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so folks in the chat saying good night to Claude and BBM over and